seconds more, then we will start. Hello, Madhurima. Great to know you. Yeah, we are on time. So, as you see, my screen says that my topic is best practices of pair programming and code review. And my name is Sumana Saha. I'm basically from India. Currently, I'm residing in Berlin, Germany, and I'm working as a software engineer since 6 years. And before starting to the just to the presentation, I would like to know, other than Michaela, how many you are actually know about the term pair programming or practicing the pair programming, something similar. If you can write in the chat, then it can be really interactive session. Hello, Rebecca. Yeah, then I think only only one person knows pair programming, but nevertheless, let's start. What is it and how to do it? Whoever, I mean, who those don't know about it, you guys will learn from the technique and how it can practice in the real software development area. And yeah, let's start. So first is our agenda, and first would be the why we need the topic of pair programming and the need of it, and then how we practice it, what are the best practices to be specific, and then what is the code review and how it can be also practiced in a rightly manner. Then it will be open for question answer forum. So before everything else, first of all, I would like to share some information why actually the pair programming is really in, and why we need it. I can give you one real life example from myself. When I started working as a software engineer back in India, it was a really different scenario when you learned many computer science theories when you're engineering batch, and you are really applying those theories in a real life situation. These transitions this is a huge transition, to be honest. And if you know, the thing is, if you don't know how to really practice them, you will be like facing a lot of difficulties. Let's say I don't know how to do it. Maybe your project team member is not collaborative. You don't know really right whatever happening in your project. So much of chaos. And if you really have a buddy with you, that okay, yeah, I know you are facing some challenges, and I know I can help you, and then we can do things together. So the idea of being together is actually the pair. That means, like, I am not alone doing this, but somebody else. And right now, today's days, if you see some statistics, that is like at least 96% programmer likes pair programming than programming alone. This is a not not a generic specific one company survey. This is a general online survey done within several years. I can say that. And also there are some company confessions that they really like the pair programming approach when they are really working with the production environment, and working with the development. Like rightly, IBM is really practicing it, and they say they can really save a lot of like $250 million amount they can save by practicing the pair programming. This is really incredible. Then the buzzword pair programming, like I was talking about, pair means more than one. So what is it all about? That means that you have a problem, you have a real life problem, and to be honest, you don't know how to approach it. It can happen in any software levels. For example, novice, or like fresher, expert, and then more. Whatever level you can imagine. But the thing is, if you are experienced, you can really imagine, okay, what I can expect from the problem. But for a fresher, it's really hard. Then if you really know that your buddy or your somebody is going to help you, then it is really nice. And now you can see here that TwoBuddy is really working for for one particular solution, and one buddy says, okay, I don't know how to write a logic, and some other buddy says, yes, I have an idea. So that means it is collaborative approach and they can work together. Now, how the pair programming is working for an agile software development practice. The thing is, when you look at a pair programming definitions, it says pair programming is an agile program technique. And what agile says is, agile says to you to collaborate with people, break the problem in a smaller chunks and work closely together on that. And pair programming, that gives a platform to take a higher level. So this is a really, sometimes people says, okay, I know agile, it says, okay, break the smaller chunks, do your own task, but why the pair programming? What is the need of it? The basic need of it is a collaboration within the developers, within the team, so that the team can grow fast. And the thing is, you must be wondering, like, obviously, when the technique is first used, that means you must be wondering why I am looking at it. I mean, I can say that it was used way back in 1940. You can see in this particular image, there are two ladies working on a big giant computer screen, and these two ladies are ENIAC programmers. ENIAC is the first electronic computer developed in 1940s, and these two ladies are the first level of the programmers who developed this program. I mean, who develops this this particular computer and a lot of other features. And they are called refrigerator ladies because they are actually developed a refrigerator back then, and they are really famous by that. And from the left, I can tell that one lady called Jean Bartik, and the right, there is a Betty Snyder. These two are really famous when this particular ENIAC programmers were on. And here, right, present generation, Jean Bartik, and she says that Betty and I from the beginning were a pair, and we can make better programs and designs done by a pair, because they can criticize themselves, they can find their errors and really make use of the best ideas. So here you can see that this is not practiced like right away, it has been since long. And now, right, after 50 years of this generation, Mr. Kent Beck, who is a author of, or the inventor of the extreme programming, he coined this term called pair programming. That means before that time, it was nothing like pair or something. It is a general way of approach or solving a problem, but he particularly coined the term. And you can know, you can find his very famous book called Test Driven Development. He's an American software engineer basically, and now we have the pair programming term by such a suggestion of Kent Beck. Now the thing is, how to make this work? And somebody can say pair means, okay, I need only one person and I can just directly jump on the problem and start. But if you know some sort of tips and tricks, you can be really productive with pair programming, which is a pairing version, other is pairing style. These two could be a little bit similar, but I can give you there is a small difference between these two. So let's start. Let's look at this. The first is the variations. That means what kind of partner on an experience level you would like to choose. That means expert means that two persons are really experienced and they are jumping into a real life problem, and they can approach any kind of a solution. They can try to find a new design pattern for it, and this could lead us a high productivity. Then we have another case which is called expert and novice. This is something like let's say I as a software developer joined some organization and I don't know about the project. Then somebody from the project is already working, can help me out. This is something called expert and novice. Though I am not a fresher, but I'm a new person to the project, and I can get a guidance. So this is kind of a mentor and mentee relationship, and sometimes it can lead us out of the box ideas, like a fresh ideas. Then I have novice. This is really basic, and like if two freshers or if two new persons have started working on a topic, on a program, and how it can be done. So this is the way we talk. So the production or the software solution could be more better result than the independent work. This is the three variations we can find. Then we have the styles of programming. This you might have heard. So I can say that driver navigator. That means one person is particular driving the solution, the approach of the solution. The other person is writing it. That means that you can see that if I have a navigator in my hand and I'm driving a car, I cannot see all the time the navigator and the drive. So somebody if can at least narrate me what is the right direction and I'm driving, that means it is really, really great approach for a pairing style. Then we have a strong style. Strong style means that let's say this is a basic on a driver navigator model, and when the driver is having some idea, he is taking the keyboard and doing the code, and when the navigator has some idea, then he is taking the keyboard and do the code. This is a strong style, means whenever whoever has some idea can just drive the code or the solution. Then we have a ping pong style. Ping pong style is really, really funny. That means when somebody has some idea and they are trying to implement the idea on the code, and then you don't know how to write or how to do, then you can sometimes you can write the test, sometimes a failing test, you can write the implementations, you can write the other parts. So this is something a very, very whatever thing like whatever you are finding and just doing, just something like that, very, very how to say, very quick reaction for that. Then the remote style. The remote style is now a really, really adaptive. Because of the COVID situation, you all know we cannot go out, and if we really need to have the pair programming flavor, it is a best solution for that. That means somebody, whoever we are working with, is sitting somewhere else, and you are talking with them via some internet software provided over the internet. This is a really, at least, cool solution to my opinion right now to have a great pair programming feeling. Now let's really take a look and feel of the pair programming, which is a remote programming. To be honest, you can see that one person is writing a code, account service, another person is not with him, with how to say, with a remote area. He is over Skype, over Microsoft Teams, whether any kind of I would say technological using any kind of software, and assisting the other programmer to write the code. Then how to proceed? This is a really good step, which is that means this particular how to proceed is based on the remote programming point of view, because I'm talking about right now the present situation as a software developer, how would really want to go, how would really want to achieve your best solution, which is like you need to at least share your screen. Other than that, it is not possible. It is not an interactive, because if you talk physical, if you stay together at one workstation and you talk about it, you discuss it, you write in a paper, this is nice, but now we can't do that. So we have to share our screen. Then we have to use our video and facial expressions. We have to plan accordingly. There are many software tools for planning. A great tool is called Miro board. You can go ahead and try. It is a great tool for whiteboarding. For example, if you want to plan something, you can get a stickies and write your plan and share your board with your partner, and it's really cool. Then you write the code, actually writing, then you're testing back and forth, and the pairing partner agrees on a solution, how to go ahead. Now, before starting, you need to think of, like, whenever you really write a code, and if the code is going to a common code base, what will happen? The code collision will happen, and we don't really want. Then the team members will be really angry. They don't really like. Then it is not good idea. Then what can help? Then Git and GitHub really can help us for this situation. And how it works, that whenever you're rightly trying to for a code, you create a branch from a base code repository and work on it, and then merge it afterward whenever your code is done or your implementation is done. Then the point is like how this new implementation and commits will go to your team, or sometimes your, I mean, what is the next steps, to be honest. That means you have created a branch and you wrote your solution, you pushed it, and you open a pull request. Pull request means you're inviting your pair, I mean your team members, to take a look at your particular sort of implementation. And whenever they are done with a I mean how to, if they have any problem or something, they can discuss and review, and then it goes to the deployment. This is the general workflow. So why have we put it? Because whenever I'm talking about code review, I need a transition point development to code review, that is a pull request. So you have to make a pull request to invite your team members, like to take a look how it is and how we can improve, to be honest. Then now I'd like to really make you think, okay, we are really willing to do the pair programming, and what if, I mean, what we had do wrong, what had gone wrong, or any problem. Then I would really like to go, I mean, take you through this particular area where we can know what are the common problems of doing a pair programming. So here, this is a really funny picture. That means that one person is like really humiliating the others just not to give 4 space of indents. That means when you are really coding with your team members, sometimes your coding style is not, I mean, maybe could be not as good as him or her, or maybe not up to the mark as the project structure or something. So this kind of irritated situation can occur. So other than that, the common pitfalls, first of all, is compatibility issues. So that means that you can understand that I am not really compatible with my team member. That could be one issue that may go wrong. Then the lack of willingness. So whenever you know you are not compatible, you're not really willing to do the pair programming, obvious reasons. Then sometimes if they are friends, they will really talk more than code. So this could be a problem. Sometimes a lack of courage. That means if I'm a fresher, I'm really don't know how to approach to the problem, then it will be really scary situation for someone. So this is something, an example for being maybe novice, extrovert, introvert, or expert level. So sometimes you really feel that I don't know what can make happen. If I write one semicolon, for example, it can go wrong. My manager will blame me. So things. So just these are the general problems. Then the loss of confidence, obviously. Then you will get insecurity complex. So there are the general pitfalls, like people really don't, want to go for a pair programming practice. So, but we can make it better. Actually, how to do it? So yes, how to solve this problem? The problem we can solve as a best practices could be done. First, trust your instinct. Just keep calm, understand the problem, and then move. Take a little steps to solve the problem. We are not, there is nowhere people will tell you like you have 2 hours, you have to solve the problem. Nowhere. Then research together with your partner. That means whenever you have decided your pairing partner, you need to research together if you don't know anything, for example. This is that they are happy because they have researched together and they really found at least one direction to go. Then break the problem into the smaller chunks. This is really important for any kind of problem solving technique. Here you can see that. Then put a validation on each idea shared by a partner. That means if my expert partner is saying do that algorithm, it cannot be at least taken without a validation. That means you need to think, for example, if my expert is suggesting me do quick sort, is it okay or not? At least try to think. Just don't believe everything. Then take breaks. This is really important. You need to take breaks, chill, and then have a coffee, and then come back, and then it would be nice. Then you will feel a great experience and for further processes. So it would be really suggested best practices to do that. And also you have to be humorous and open. That means, you don't be really I don't know what to do. You have to be happy, cheerful, and just take this thing in a good way. Then how to let your team know about your solution? That means you have to, like I have talked, that you have to pull request, you have to create a pull request, and you have to go to the, I mean, maybe send the invitation or sometimes, and then solution, I mean, at least try to reach to your team. Then this is the way which I have already talked. That means you have to create branch and you have to push the pull request, and then invite your team members to take a look on your new implementation, what you have done. Then what's next? This is a really crucial point. That means you as a pair programmer have done whatever you wanted to do. Now your code is already pushed particular repository, and you would really like your team members to take a look on your code. That means next is code review. That is really, really crucial. Now, what is a code review? That means code review is a technique to produce a best error-free with a high quality code. That means your team member will take a really how to say, sneak peek to your code, then find little errors can occur to damage the production. This can really be I would say helpful. And next, this is general idea that how a code review can increase the software quality. For example, like there your not your own eyes, I mean, not a two pair of eyes, more than two pair of eyes are looking on your code and trying to find bugs on it. That is really helpful for any level of programmers. Then how to really, I mean, find that it is called code review control flow. That means what should be done before the code review. First, the developed code is ready to be reviewed. That means you have created a pull request, your coding is completed, done, and your developed code is ready. Now your code authors, that means whenever you have created a pull request, that means automatically nowadays there are many softwares, for example Atlassian's Bitbucket and then Git, they are having the email hook. That means whenever you invite somebody, they will automatically get an email. Then the reviewers review the code and provide a feedback to the code author. Then if there are no open question to the pull request, then it can be marked as approved and it is ready to be marched to the code repository. This is a general code review control flow. Now it is a time to understand how to review a code. This is really important because in my understanding, it can be done, okay, I know this is the best practice. It can be only done like that. You are doing extremely wrong, and you don't know anything. So these good things can occur. So to imply that how to review code, I have a great example, which is a really famous example, and this is done by Uncle Bob, and with his clean code book. That means, if you can imagine, code review is getting done in a particular room, and you are seeing what the fuck kind of words per minute. That means if your code is fine, if your code is okay, then you will receive less number of what the fucks. That means, okay, fine, I don't agree, but okay, I can live with that, for example. And if it is not the case, then you will feel lot of questions, and you will be bombarded with questions. So this is the general code review. I mean, this is a funny, I'm not funny, but this is the way normally happens. Now what to do then? For example, if you receive, so define a checklist. The common guideline is established by the team. That means if some organizations has a specific formatting style or a programming guideline, we have to adhere to it. Then get a context of the code before reviewing. That means I wake up in the morning, have a coffee, and then I started reviewing a code. I don't understand a single word is written in the code, and I started review the code, and I am writing 100 of questions. The right way to do that. Obviously, we have to check, is there any bad code smell? Then we have to check if the code reusable or a correct performance. Is it a good as a performance wise? That if there is uncertainty, we have to ask the author, just we don't give any approval. Yes, just I mentioned, okay, now we need to review, but we have to talk about really best practices, how to do that, how to do a really good code review. First of all, give respectful and constructive feedback. That means, you can see in this image, you don't really say what is coming in your mind. It is, I can imagine that as a developer, you can really feel that it is really bad, but you don't if you are telling that it is really bad, the other person will really feel bad. It is not a right way. We have to give respectful and constructive feedback. Then connect with the code author if necessary. That means you don't straight away reject it. You first talk to the code author and explain or try to understand the author's understanding, why they have written such a code, for example. Then always explain the code change or implementation is rejected. That means, okay, if for example, if the code author is not available, you cannot talk, at least when you are rejecting, you write a comment or write an email or communicate via any media that for this reason I am rejecting your code, please rework. This is the right way to do that. Then use an IDE, integrated development environment. That means whenever you see a pull request in the GitHub or the Bitbucket, you don't really get the feeling of the code developed by somebody. You have to really use the IDE to understand, because you know that some utility files are being used in the particular code and you don't know where the files are located. You can't really have a dream of particular utils file have been located somewhere else. So you have to be really good or really focused when reviewing a code. Then avoid big comment thread for discussing the issues. So it is really important that you write small comment or maybe communicate with the code author and then try to discuss things. Now what next? Who are really practicing the pair programming code review? This is a really, the answer is numerous, but I have tried to jot down some companies or some organizations I know they're really doing it. First is Google, then Amazon, then JetBrains, then RatePay, where I'm working right now, and also many others. So this is really a really cool practice technique, or whatever I can say. I am advocating the pair programming in the code review concept for all to at least try. Let's give it a try. What is the takeaway from this lesson? You can think. Collaborate with your team members. Do not compete. It is not a hackathon. We are doing a software development. It takes really lot of patience and your time and your thought, and really can make you, it can really make you quickly frustrated. But to be honest, just keep calm and collaborate with people. This is really helpful. Sharing is caring. That is the tagline, could be the tagline for my session here. Then the useful resources you can find, which is one particular thing I really follow. Martin Fowler, he's a renowned software engineer and now I think architect. He has done tremendous good work in the software development industry. You can take a look on his pair programming article. Michaela Greiler, she's a Microsoft code review advisor and she is doing a lot of code reviews with many engineering teams. You can take a look. Her book, it is free, and learn a lot of cool techniques from that. There are a clean code book. It's a famous book from Robert C. Martin, aka Uncle Bob, and you can get a sneak peek from that book and learn many things. And obviously you can connect with me by my LinkedIn profile. That's all. And now the ground is open for anything, any questions you find in your mind, or something you really would like to do. Whatever things coming in your mind, I'm open. Now I'm really going into the chat window and try to check if anyone has any question for me. I would be really happy. Yes, how to do pair programming in a data team. I can understand this could be really tricky, but if you are following some agile practices, let's say Scrum or doing things, that means you can take your task in a smaller chunks. That means your data task, could be taken into, let's say, if you're writing a query, and you can take a help, and you can both invest your brain on a particular topic, any kind of a data related questions that can be analyzed, and you can do pair programming that way. Yes. Yeah, the thing is, yeah, first of all, what are the software based practices mean? This is a huge topic, to be honest. And software based practices means that could be design practice, that could be implementation based practice, and I am not pretty sure what domain you mean total. That means you have to be a good design, to be honest, to be first to start, and then you have to slowly move into the development. And nowadays I would say agile is the best way to develop a software. Then Evangelia asked, if you apply pair program on a daily basis, can affect the productivity. Yes, Evangelia, it can really affect the productivity, but if you think of such a way that one person is doing some task and reworked again and again, that can really take a lot of time, that can really take away the productivity. So this is another philosophy, that if we do a here pair programming, then we can at least know that our quality of product is really growing, and it can help us, it really can help us. Have you used Summer code metrics to compare task competition within a team? Not really, but for example, we take a part in kind of a, let's say, coffee and code sessions in our company, where we solve issues with other part of other persons from another team. So that could be yeah, my answer. Like, we have not taken a code metrics, but we were doing such a way. Visual Studio is a great plugin. Live share which is used to when pairing remotely. Yeah. Then I would say, Michelle, yeah, I have not personally used Visual Studio. Nowadays, I'm using Microsoft Teams, and I have used Cisco WebEx as well. They have been a great tool for remote pairing, and yeah, then obviously, yeah, this sessions are really nice via Teams or Cisco WebEx. Yes. What can be done if there are unequal amount of dedication and participation of a clashing personalities? Yes, because I have already talked about this when I have talked about the common pitfalls. I can imagine it can happen that somebody is sleeping and somebody is really unwilling to do that. That means if you feel that the other person is not interactive, you can slowly, or you can politely address this issue. Hello, Mr. X, I think we have to do a problem, and if you don't feel if you don't feel the urge or the understanding you have, then we can really discuss of before starting into the jumping into the programming. We have to discuss the how to say, we have to plan it, or we have to learn together, or I can give you a tips to make you feel motivated or dedicated, because I know that you can imagine that unequal amount of dedication can happen of unequal amount of interest or understanding of a problem. If the person is really understanding a problem, they can be really interested. This is my experience says. That means if I feel that I don't know anything about it, I'm least bothered. I'm not at all interested. But if I see that something is really interesting and I can live with that, and I can do something, and I can really write a program, or I can help others, or I can be collaborative, this could be the way to do that. At least you can motivate people for getting interest, or you can at least try to address this issue on a very beginner level of pair programming. It's not that you have done the pair programming entire weeks or months, and then you are really feeling that I don't want to do the pair program because this person is really not talking to me, or boring, or things like that, blah blah. So you have to address this issue on a basic level, then you will see the results. It is not rocket science. It is a basic of communication. You have to address these issues whenever you are starting to do that. Thank you, Carolina. I'm really honored to present. Thank you, Shruti. Thank you, Nitsa. And yes, Any other questions? We have another 6 minutes. Any questions, any remarks you would like to give me, or you'd like to know more, whatever thing, you can connect with me. I can try to find my LinkedIn profile in the web and share it in the chat, so that you can connect with me if you feel like. Thank you. I shared. Thank you, Thanuja. Thank you so much for attending, at least for attending the session, and collaborating with us. So I'm really honored, and also I really thank this Women Tech Network for providing the great platform, for sharing the cool tips, at least how to say, sharing the opportunity, or giving the opportunity to us, for anyone who can try to get into the technology, share knowledges, and connect with people. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you so much that you find it insightful. Yes. And I don't know, I didn't know it was not so. It is not, it is actually, it is, I mean, you don't maybe you have not heard the term pair programming, but you have done it in the college level. Whenever you have done it, everyone, we have done it. This is when we are doing the pair, the project, the final year project, everyone has done it, but we don't know the term, and sometimes we don't really the cool tips and tricks how to do it. Thank you, Yvonne. Thank you so much for advices. Thank you so much. And it was a really, really great time to talking to you guys, and yeah, sharing my knowledge. And we have again 4 minutes time. Anything you would like to know, I'm really happy to answer. And if you need my slides, at least give me your email IDs. I can email, or I can put in a slide share. You can download and take a look. So what do you think? So is it how to say, personal email is best, or you would like to check out from any common source, or even I can upload in my GitHub account, you can download from there. So I can give you my GitHub details. You can at least take a look, and yeah. So here, there you go. And I will upload my slides. You can download maybe right away this session. So, okay, anything else? Anything else you'd like to ask me? We have time. Or have you find that, how have you found the sessions? Like someone, I mean, many of you has written great tips, insightful. I'm really honored to be part of. And yes, thank you, Mercy. Thank you so much. I'm really glad that you found it useful. I hope you can practice. And yes, thank you, Carolina. And you can find me here in the LinkedIn profile, and yeah, just send connection request, and I'm really happy to collaborate. If you like to pair program, just write me anywhere in the any platform, like LinkedIn, or maybe email. I'm writing my personal email as well, and we can do pair programming remotely on a remote style. So this is my personal email, so you can write me if you need any help, or yes. Hi, Chin. I would love to learn how to do pair programming properly. Yes, we can do together. We can take us a real life problem, or anything comes with your mind. Whatever you are doing, I believe you are doing something with JavaScript. I think yes, but what? Moment. No. No, I don't find you, sorry. Okay, data. Okay, no, data, sorry. Okay, great. I think, again, we are 40 seconds. In 40 seconds, the sessions will be gone. And I really thank you for attending my session. And yeah, it's a great pleasure to meet you all. Bye, guys.